probably think of Chromebooks as, just a browser in a box. Simple, maybe even a little bit limited. But what if I told you that you could run desktop-class software, manage multiple workspaces like an absolute pro, and, get this, even play PC games on one? Today, we're unlocking your Chromebook's hidden superpowers.
All right, let's just jump right in with this pretty bold statement from the folks over at How to Geek. Kind of provocative, right? But you know what? It frames what we're doing today just perfectly. Over the next few minutes, we're going to explore what the right way to use a Chromebook really looks like. And I promise, you are going to discover capabilities you had no idea existed.
So, first things first. That reputation Chromebooks have for being simple and secure, it is absolutely earned. I mean, they boot up in seconds, the interface is super clean, and they are designed from the ground up to be safe. But that's just the foundation, not the whole story. Let's dig a little deeper into what makes them so incredibly secure. Now, what's really cool here is that security isn't some extra software you have to install. It is woven into the very fabric of the operating system. Your Chromebook updates itself automatically, totally silently in the background, so you always have the latest protection without ever being bothered. Plus, the core system files are read-only, which basically creates this massive wall against viruses and malware. And here is one of the absolute key pillars of that security: sandboxing. Think of it like this. Every single tab and app you open is running in its own sealed-off room. So if you accidentally click a bad link, that threat is completely contained inside that one room. It just can't spread to the rest of your computer. It's such a simple idea, but it's incredibly powerful. And on top of that, every single time you turn on your Chromebook, it does this thing called verified boot. So before it even loads, it scans its own system for any tampering or corruption. If it finds anything at all that's out of place, it just repairs itself instantly. A lot of the time, you won't even notice it happened. It's basically a self-healing system that makes sure you're always running a clean, trusted version of the OS. Okay, so we've established that Chromebooks are basically fortresses of security. But what about, actually doing stuff? A common myth is that they're useless for file management because of their small internal drives. Well, let's put that myth to the test, shall we? This is the big question, isn't it? You see it all the time on places like Reddit. If you've only got, say, 32 or 64 gigs of local storage, how on earth are you supposed to manage everything? Well, the answer is all about changing how you think about where your files actually live. Here's the key. Chromebooks use a kind of hybrid storage model. That small local drive, that's all about speed. It's for the stuff you need right now, like your recent downloads or files you've specifically saved for offline use. Everything else, your documents, your photos, pretty much your entire digital life, lives safe and sound in the cloud on Google Drive. So it's not about having limited storage, it's about having smart storage. And believe me, it gets way more sophisticated. As DaxTech points out, you are not locked into Google's world at all. You can plug OneDrive or Dropbox right into the file manager, so all your clouds are in one spot. You can pin the folders you use all the time for one-click access. And with features like Nearby Share, you can zap a file from your Chromebook to your phone with a single tap. No cables, no hassle. It's a surprisingly powerful system. All right, now that we've kind of rethought how files work, let's uncover some of these hidden features that will seriously speed up your day-to-day workflow. These are the little tricks that separate the casual user from a true Chromebook Pro. Here's your first one. Forget clicking through menus trying to find your files. Just hit Shift plus Alt plus M all at the same time, and bam, your file manager pops right up. It's a simple little muscle memory trick that'll save you a ton of clicks over time. Okay, this next one is an absolute game changer. We have all done this. You copy something important, you get distracted, you copy something else, and poof, that first thing is gone forever. Well, not anymore. On a Chromebook, just press the launcher key, that's the one with the circle on it, plus the letter V. And what that does is pull up this advanced clipboard that stores the last 5 things you copied. And get this, it's not just for text, it works for images and screenshots too. A little menu of your recent clips just appears and you click to paste the one you need. This is easily one of the most powerful and most underused features on the entire platform. And hey, don't sleep on your touchpad. It's a powerhouse. A simple 2-finger swipe left or right works as your back and forward button in the browser. A 3-finger swipe up instantly shows you all your open windows so you can find exactly what you're looking for. And that 4-finger swipe, well, that's our ticket to the really big stuff. Okay, this is where your Chromebook really transforms from just a simple laptop into a legitimate multitasking machine. If you've ever felt cramped by a single screen or wish you could better separate your work from your personal life, these next features are for you. So, remember that four-finger swipe? It lets you just glide between what are called virtual desks. This feature lets you create multiple, completely separate desktop environments on your one laptop. It's kind of like having several monitors all built right into the OS, letting you dedicate each desk to a specific project or task. Here's a perfect, practical example, right? You could have one desk for work, with all your productivity apps open and ready to go. Then, with a quick four-finger swipe, you switch over to your play desk, where you've got your music, videos, or games. It keeps everything neat, organized, and mentally separate. It's fantastic. But the biggest superpower of them all is one that's been hiding in plain sight for years now. And this quote from B-Bomb just perfectly captures the feeling of enabling the Linux environment on your Chromebook. And trust me, this is not just for developers anymore. So here's the deal. With a few clicks in your settings, you can turn on a feature that lets you install and run real, powerful desktop-class software. I'm talking about sophisticated photo editors like GIMP, a full-blown office suite like LibreOffice, professional coding tools, and yes, you can even install and run Steam for PC gaming. This single feature just completely shatters that old browser-in-a-box myth forever. So we've covered security, files, and some seriously powerful user features. For our last section, let's talk about personalization and accessibility. Because a powerful tool is only really useful if it can adapt to your specific needs, and Chromebooks have some incredible built-in features to do exactly that. One of the most important and simplest adjustments, which was highlighted by Tech for Senior, is changing the display size. If you find text hard to read, you do not have to squint. A single slider in the settings can increase the size of everything on the screen: text, icons, tabs, making it perfectly comfortable for your eyes. And that's just scratching the surface. There's a built-in screen reader called Chromebook that literally describes what's happening on screen. There's a full-screen magnifier for zooming in. There's even system-wide dictation that lets you type with your voice anywhere. And it works even when you're offline. These aren't just afterthoughts. They're core tools that make the device accessible to everyone. So we've gone on this journey from a simple, secure browser to a productivity machine with clever file management, to a multitasking beast with virtual desks, and finally, to a true desktop alternative with the power of Linux. The potential. It's been there all along, just waiting to be unlocked. So the only question left is, what are you going to do with it?